Hey everybody, Texas Stroker here, Lance's Performance Shop, LoneStarMopars.com. We've got our pretty swanky little KC Tool 50-piece screwdriver stand here. What I want to open up right now, and this is all because of this. Let me grab it. This guy right here, this Felo organic screwdriver. It had the coolest tip I have ever seen. Again, how long it lasts, how well it performs long term remains to be seen. I've been using their wood-handled one and I really like it. But this guy right here, I was so impressed with it that I came in. This is my first dealings with this brand, first ever experience with it. This one was so good. And I thought, man, that company knows what's up. I bought several more of their products, one of them being right here. This is a 30-piece bit set, as you can see, and it's actually in a pretty swanky little yellow case that I'm very excited to check out. It is their part number 61530, 30-piece insert bit set with a handle, which is going to be pretty cool. It also comes with an extension, which is nice. And I got it from KC Tool Co. I believe it's currently listed at $44.58. I want to say that I didn't pay that. I want to say I was somewhere in like the $35 range. Prices vary quite a bit. You can catch things on sale or as tool of the day from time to time. We're going to go ahead and check that out, but I also want to include this little gem, which I've shown quickly in an unboxing tool haul video. The Felo Smart Handle right here. This thing is going to impress you. It is their part number 60427. It is currently on sale for $13.27. I felt like I paid $12 or something. But again, not a huge discrepancy, and you're going to see why I'm bringing that in just 1 second. So, let's go ahead, and this thing has got pretty good reviews on it. That I cannot read to you. I could, but it would be painfully bad. So, this is essentially a 50mm handle, which is relatively short. We've got basically a 50mm extension, and then we've got 28 different bits. It looks like in slotted we're going to have 3, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5. That's going to all be metric, obviously, so don't be sitting here thinking, man, I'm getting an awesome, flat blade. No, that is metric, so it crosses over very closely to what you're familiar with, SAE. Posi drive, which I guess if we ever have weird European stuff show up, will be covered, 1, 2, and 3. Right here we actually get some hex bits, it looks like, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that number 3 we could actually use to assemble this tool stand. Coming in then with Phillips, we have 0, 1, 2, and 3. Then we get spanner, which I've never seen a fastener designed like that I can think of. I guess 6 and 8. Torx, this is pretty cool. Because I do have to use Torx quite a bit. So you get 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 40. So we're getting pretty decent size with the Torx. And then, of course, our little extensions. So the box is really nice, I have to say. The packaging, the color, it's kind of like it looks old school, like 70s America, but, that's right up my alley. So cracked it open here. Let's go ahead. Ooh. This does feel really good, I have to say. I'm impressed by this, man. Like I said, this all stems from like a $7 or $9 screwdriver. I was so impressed by this. You don't invest heavily in something you're unsure of, right? Brought this thing in, and again, not only is it super comfortable, but that tip. I mean, I kind of got the camera to showcase it once. It's sort of hard to do. I was so impressed by that, I based everything else off of it. So, let's check this out, because this is cool. This is kind of exciting, exotic, foreign things to us. So, Felo, looking for innovations. This is, I guess, a 15-year warranty, if I'm attempting to translate. Made in Germany. I got that covered. All right, this guy right here, I told you. Now, the downside, I've already mentioned it. I used it because I was so excited and impressed by it. I used it immediately, and it seems like it's got like a lot of static electricity and kind of brings in small crud to the handle, and then you feel that, which that's really the only downside. But they call it flexible cells, so there's essentially, you can kind of see the core design of this screwdriver, why it's so comfortable. And it adapts to the hand, so a little bit more lively than the wood handle, which over time will be amazing. But coming in right here, they're advertising, I guess, M-Tech Perfect Nut Drivers. I'm in the market for a set of nut drivers again. My old Harbor Freight ones, I basically got a little gas on the sizes I use the most, and all the numbering is gone. They're still color-coded, but they're also starting to round off hose clamps. So this handle would be amazing. I'm just kind of afraid I don't know. I'm going to have to see how that holds up long-term with dust and stuff. But they do have insulated one, which is pretty cool. They do have an impact. I might price that bad boy. Actually, now that I think about it. So of course just a little impact screwdriver. That's very cool. All these bits will interchange. And then this guy right here is what we're going to take a look at, the smart handle. I didn't pick this up, but I might based on how well I like it. Coming around to this side, you've got the that's one of their little tiny 1/4-inch drive ratchets, another screwdriver, and insulated. They've got all kinds of fancy bits, more insulated stuff. Torque drivers, which is kind of cool. And that's about it. So I gotta say, you know, if you're in Germany, this is just like, you don't even look at it, but when you order something in America that came from Germany or a foreign country, it's kind of cool. You sort of like to see what's going on. This case is awesome. Yellow and black, not really my colors. That's, again, there's a bit set from Jador that I really like, and it's always out of stock. They've got typically, and I haven't really researched this a ton, but there's typically, if you've got a bit set that you like, most of these manufacturers seem to have different versions. Some of them might eliminate the Torx and go hardcore Phillips. Some, you know, it's just depending on what you do, you might shop around and then see if you can find a different iteration of the same product that'll just custom tailor the bits a little bit better to what you're looking to do. This is awesome, though. Not only does this feel very well made, it looks awesome. And I guess if you're like a big DeWalt fan, this would be ideal. It's probably way better bits than them too. It does have a metal pin back there through the plastic hinge. But all this stuff is not just the black and yellow color scheme, which matches their ergonics obviously, but this is all textured rubber. That's what it feels like. And so what's that going to do? It's going to keep it from sliding. We could put this on the dash of the car, do some launches, throw the girlfriend in the side door, and this is going to stay planted, which is pretty neat. Something else I've noticed in the German products, instead of being like the American style latch you're used to where you just flip it up, which I'm always afraid is going to break, they seem to do this like posi lock thing, which, I don't know, it might be cool. This is nice. This is this isn't one of those things that you buy and you get it and it looks really cool online, and then you get it home and you're like, man, this piece of crap, wish I wouldn't have paid that much for it. This is something that yeah, it was around 30 bucks or so, but it's totally worth it in my opinion. Just the presentation, these bits could all suck, and just the case and the presentation, I would feel good with the $30 mark. Now, I've got high hopes for the bits, so that's what we're going to run with. Right here, though, instructions for those of you that couldn't figure it out. We're going to take the extension, slide it into the handle, and then we're going to take the bit and slide it into the extension that's been slid into the handle. A lot of people are always doing this, and I'm glad that this has this, because people are saying like, yeah, you don't need that nut for bolster, and you can just spin a handle in the back. That is explicitly for hanging your screwdriver. Okay, I don't care what material the handle is made out of, that's a bad idea. You're eventually, if you do, like at this point in time, you shouldn't be using a screwdriver. You should have, you know, a wrench, a ratchet, a socket, something substantial made for the task at hand. You're going to wind up cracking some of these, and when it comes off, it's going to be interesting to say the least. That said, check this out, man. So it's kind of got like the outlines here, so if somebody borrows this and you're like, man, you know, this is missing right here, that's such a positive feel when it came out. But it's a situation where, yeah, you could kind of look at it and you're like, well, okay, I know it's going to be a 1/4-inch drive, but is it slotted real small or is it a Torx? You're not going to know. But if you come up here, boom, you can identify it. So it's just like Battleship. We come in and this is going to be, you know, our Phillips and Posies up at the top, our hexes, these spanner ones down at the bottom, which again, I've never seen that in use before, but let me pull this up to my head. I love it. Thank you so, so much. Okay. Can we ever get it to focus? Let me try it this way. Maybe not. Okay, let's zoom in. Alright. One day I'll figure this out for you. This does very well with large items. I'm trying to get that to focus. Alright, well what I am trying to show you, quite simply, is the bit. And on one side it says Felo, and you can kind of see where the light is making patterns. There's etchings there. And what it says is T40, and then it gives the part number 026400, which I assume if you were able to buy individual bits, that's what you could get, right? If that one was missing, you could come in and you could probably deduce this from a video or a product brochure. But this is a T40 hex, basically. And, I'm sorry, Torx bit. And the other side, I so wish this would work. It's teasing me. There we go. You can see the Felo logo. And if I spin it, I don't know that you can read it, but you can tell it's there. It's T40 and the part number, which is awesome. Again, this is hex design in the case, which is pretty neat. And I gotta say, it feels solid. Now, the ultimate test, it's like when you go to Dairy Queen and they turn your Blizzard upside down. I'm gonna have my thumbs not holding anything in place, not even the handle or the extension. They don't have too far to fall. Okay. Everything but the handle survived, alright? And the handle is in good hands, because it's in my hands. So, we're going to take a look at that thing anyway. It worked perfectly. Don't doubt the system. Alright, so there we go. This is basically a stubby down version of my ergonic screwdriver sitting back there in the back. This thing is very nice. I guess 438 would be their part number. Awesome. Now, this Jador handle, their number 676, I absolutely love this thing. Here is a size comparison for you. And, that has its pros and its cons, but these are 1/4-inch bits, so if you've got something old school Americana that you love, you've already got, you know, like a 10-inch driver or something, you can still use it. It's the best of both worlds. So this one was packed a little bit better on this side. And once again, I guess the distance thing must be my issue. So we're sort of making strides with the camera. This is Felo, Germany, and I assume 038103 is going to be our part number. So let's go ahead now. I can feel the magnet already. Pulled that in, and let's just go with the big slot, right? So again, that is going to be a 1.2 by 6.5, basically. But you don't need to see it. You can take my word for it. Here's the moment of truth. Very wow. That's a solid magnet right there as well. So this is it. This is the finished product. If we've got something slotted like a hose clamp or something that we're set up for, it's all in this bit box. Not only do we get the bits, I guess there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 rows of 7. We get the handle, we get the extension. In order to make this as compact as possible, they've designed it very wisely, where the handle comes out, rests there. The bits are all stored nicely. Again, I had this thing full upside down, no bit went anywhere, which is awesome. And then the extension is going to go here. So, we'll do it one more time. I'm prepared for the handle. And nothing else, let me get it to where you can see it. Total flip, man. Nothing came out. That is quality. They spent a little extra time, they got all the tolerances right, and that pays off because it impresses people like me that make videos on things. So, I absolutely love this set. Very, very cool. Now, let's come in here. If you've got other, like, let's say that you know, that handle's too small for me. Well, this one's slightly larger. And what I want to do, the magnet on this thing is absurd. I'm like, that's why I'm having to use needle nose. This is a deburring blade. I don't want to cut my fingers up. But, alright, check this out. So, you've got your favorite little handle, right? This one didn't suit you, or you need it slightly longer, whatever it may be. You can come in and we'll get this T40 Torx out. The magnet, I think, on this Jador is a little bit stronger, but they're both ridiculously good. So there we go. These bits, if you lose this handle, if you don't like the handle, if you have a favorite handle and you only wanted it for the bits or the extension, this is your ticket. These are going to be universal, work with anything that's 1/4 inch. That magnet in this thing is amazing. Can't say it enough. Now, if you're tired of really bad bits from your local you know, big box store, Home Depot or Lowe's, and you're thinking, man, I want to step up, get a better bit, I use these all the time, tired of throwing my money away, I'm interested in this or a similar brand, check this out. Old school Craftsman USA. This was my go-to for so long. I still like it, I still use it actually, I'm not gonna lie. Check this out though. German bit, American Craftsman handle, you're good to go. And that's a situation where, honestly, I don't think I would want to use something this length or even this length, which is slightly longer, for something like a Torx. That's typically going to have a lot more tight, if you will, right? It's going to be torqued down. That's sort of what they were designed for. In that case, something like this would be ideal. And again, you can pick these up if you find your favorite handle, like if you love this ergonics, which is pretty dadgum nice, I'm not gonna lie. You can get a longer version that would replicate what you see here with the Craftsman, and you can go to town in that May. All right, so one more thing I want to do. We're gonna grab this guy. I told you we brought it in for a reason. This is their Felo Smart Handle. I know what you're thinking, it's red and black. You were loving this yellow and black color scheme. It's perfect, you said. Well, this actually doesn't look bad. Neither one is my colors per se, but hey, I will take it. So let me back this out. Back it out, I said, so you can get a better look at it. And what this is going to do, we're going to take this adapter from our Felo kit. We're going to slide it in. What we're going to do now, I'm not sure if it's actually designed for this or not, but it seems to work so far. So we'll go back to the T40 that we're hell-bent on wearing out. As you can see there, very strong magnet, which again, that would be attributable to the extension. But we now have, comparatively to the Jador unit, which you know how much bigger it was, this is slightly larger than the Jador. And if we compare it to the tiny, tiny, but oh so cute ergonics handle, it's roughly, what, double the size? I mean, almost, we'll say, like what, 66, 75%, 3/4 maybe. And then comparatively to this Craftsman, very, very similar. Obviously, you know, the shaft isn't going to be as long, but it does give you a different option, particularly compared to what's included here. Now, where this thing really shines, right? Maybe we're coming in here, we're using our 3mm on this screwdriver stand. Well, check this out. We're going to set that back, and I think this actually came with that. It's this one. Nailed it. Barely used the metric system. We got it on the first try, proof in the pudding right there. So, check this out. We can throw this in, and we've actually got the ability to come in a standard screwdriver form here. Let me wiggle that this way. This is very solid as we moved it for the first time. So we've got that, but if you're not of that mindset, if you're like, man, where's my T-handle? Boom. How gratifying is that? We then have the T-handle. So, these work very, very well together. Again, I'm not quite sure that this is what they intended this for. I think they might have, after looking at this brochure, is when I came to this conclusion. I started to have doubts in my mind. I think they probably intend you to use these, like the specific smart handles, but we're rebels, we're crazy, we did it our way, and it worked. So here it is again, just to kind of showcase it to you. This goes deep back in there, and it does stop. I mean, at the length it stops, it seems like, all I can tell you, whether or not it was intended, it does work, and I'm going to do it. Because why? This is why. The T-handle is so freaking, that's just, to me, that's awesome. That's the type of thing that I'm just like, man, why did nobody do this until now? And I don't have an answer for you, but I'm glad that they did, because it's super cool. So, $35-40 for this bit set, which I have zero regrets about. Once again, just the form factor, the packaging, the overall product, and first impression, I love it. Couple that with the fact that these bits, again, let's say that this, you get this and it's too small, or you're like, man, I will never get used to that. I like my insert brand X here. All these bits, this extension, anything 1/4 inch, it's going to be compatible with. You know what? You can push that down a little bit more. I wonder if it would stay. Yeah, no. Okay, so everything but the handle is pretty much foolproof, as the handle takes more abuse, which is great news. Let me grab that. We can't finish the video and not have the cool handle in place. So, like I said, my only issue with this handle, based on this one, which is why I purchased everything to begin with, it does tend, I don't know that you can see anything on it. You kind of can. Anytime that you don't see like a uniform black, it's like dust stuff. But this feels so good in your hand, and the tip is absolutely amazing. That's sort of what I based all of this off of. And let's come in. This right here is going to be my number 2. It looks like a really good tip. It's not quite as impressive as the one on the Organics handle, but it's awesome. You know what? As I figure this distance thing out, like, I was so impressed again by this tip that I felt like we had to bring this in. So let's see if I can. I don't know that you can tell, but where that looks like there's ridges in this tip, there are. Like, do you hear that? It sounds like a zipper or running your hands up and down wind pants or something. That's in the tip, and it's so freaking cool. Again, it's something, if you're on the fence about any of these, if you're looking to switch out, if you're trying to expand your tool repertoire, pick this thing up and tell me if it's not the best looking tip you've ever seen. Now, long-term usage, we're going to have to keep tabs on that, but so far, so good. That said, though, $30 for this, totally worth it, man. Absolutely worth it. Look at the posi lock there. Again, this is not just decorative, this is molded. If you've got it on a service cart, your dashboard, a slightly irregular surface, it's going to grip. I mean, it's impressive to say the least. Past that, the smart handle for $15, it's just one of those things that's cool. Now, if you've got a full set of like flagged L keys, or you've got T handles, you know, like around the shop at work, you know, we've got a crud ton of T handles or stands like every 3 machines. But if it's something at home and you're like, I don't know if I want to spend that much money for T handles when I only need this size, but it would be nice if I had the option of not just having that size, basically just buying one tool. This is a legit contender, and you don't have to worry if you ever were to round out, say, your 3mm assembling all these awesome stands. Just get another bit, man, and you're home free, and you can still use the handle. So this is one of those things, this setup right here, very smart, very impressive initial quality, and I'm excited to see how they fare long term. So brilliant thing, if you hate both handles, if you're like, oh, those are hideous, I'd never use them, I need something like this, the bits are compatible. If you've got something that's, you know, stubby or mid-size that you already like, bits are compatible. If you need to jump into this, I can't stress this enough, just get this screwdriver right here. Again, it is what, if I wouldn't have purchased this, I would not have bought these items. I absolutely love, and the one that I've used the most that I've brought in is the Felo wood handle, just a 4-inch number 2. This handle is so good. And like I said, the only issue I've found is dust, but this purchase right here of like under $10 is why we've now brought in, what, $50 worth more of their stuff. So you did good. You did good, Felo, and I'm excited to see how these hold up. This little thing was so impressive. Next time I order, I'm going to check out their other bit sets and see if there's anything else. I might even get another one of these just to take to work. That's kind of what I'm doing with that Milwaukee thing. I wasn't sure what I'd think of it. Our little fastback knife down here. I like this thing so much, I'm actually going to buy another one to take to work. It's typically the other way around. You get something good in at work and you're like, man, I'm going to get that for the house. That and this. I think I would not mind having this around work, actually. So that might be what I do. But hey, that just speaks testament to my initial impressions here. Time will be the ultimate tester. How they perform over time, how the bits hold up, if the storage stays intact, if this is just a gimmick, is it going to wear out after, you know, a month of use or something? Or will it be one of those things that in 20 years I'm like, wow, who took my T handle? You know. And my nephew's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I'm looking for that thing, you know, that's a stubby driver and then it flips out type of a deal. All that remains to be seen. But for the money that we spent on this, about $50 here, pretty freaking impressive. So, Felo Smart Handle, it's around 15. Their part number, I guess right here, 2K Griff Smart, right there, something along that. I think I covered it at the beginning. And then right here again, this Felo bit, the 30-piece set, 28 bits, the handle, the extension. I love this thing. Super, super impressed by it. So, that said, I hope you enjoyed, hope you learned a little something, maybe piqued your curiosity here. If you bring this in, I think you're going to like it. I think you will be equally impressed. Probably more so in person in your own hand than through the means I can convey it by video. But that said, LoneStarMopars.com is the website. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, circle us on Google Plus if you're there for some reason. We'll be doing a little bit more on Instagram. But I gotta tell you, this is some quality stuff right here. Very impressed by it. So shout out once again to Felo. Very happy with my purchases. Excited to see how they perform over time. That said, I will catch you back here for more action from the shop.